Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. It's time for another tier list. So I've gathered together 50 mainly solo artists. Some of these, some of these musicians are part of a band, of course, also. So not just solo artists. Like, Jim Morrison. He was in the Doors. I bet you didn't know that. So here we go. And as always, this is just my opinion on my favorites and my least favorites, and I'm just ranking them for me. So here we go. John Bon Jovi. I put him in D. I'm not saying he's not talented, but his music just does not appeal to me at all. I have no interest in it. Lou Reed is S tier for me. I love almost everything he's done in his solo career and basically everything he did in the Velvet Underground. Roger Taylor of Queen, I feel, is very underrated as a drummer and also as a singer. I'm putting him in A tier. I mean, if they didn't have Freddie Mercury in the band, he could have, if he wasn't playing drums, he could have made for a really excellent lead singer, in my opinion. Pete Townsend of The Who is S tier. But just for me personally, I'm more of a fan of Lou Reed than Pete Townsend. Randy Newman is great. I love his early albums and then all of the soundtracks he's done, Toy Story and other ones. I will put him in A. Jimmy Page is S tier. Producer, guitarist, songwriter, stealing other people's music. I'll put him ahead of Pete Townsend. Ozzy Osbourne. Now, this is for his solo career and Black Sabbath. I loved him in Black Sabbath, but I never really followed his solo career. I've heard, obviously, some music from his solo career, but it just didn't appeal to me. I love the early Black Sabbath years. But overall, I put him in B, the start of B. Gord Downie, one of the most loved Canadians. He was in the band The Tragically Hip, and he sadly passed away from brain cancer a few years back. Let's put him in S tier. It looks like we have one of the Ween members. So that is Gene Ween. And then Dean Ween is here somewhere. There he is. Okay. I love these guys. I am just a huge fan. I think he's the lead singer and he plays guitar, writes the songs along with Dean. I'm putting him in S tier. And I'm putting Dean Ween in S tier. That's how much I love these guys. If I can find them. There he is. Yeah, he's just a superb guitarist. And he sings some Ween songs. Yoko Ono, I know, gets bashed a lot. I know most people don't care for her, but I wonder how many have actually listened to her, her more song-based solo albums. I'm putting her in A tier. I love a lot of her material. Bryan Adams is, obviously talented. I like some of his hit songs, and he is Canadian, but I do like him more than John Bon Jovi, so I'll put him in C tier. Jim Morrison, The Doors, great charisma, love his vocals. I'm going to put him in S tier. Alex Lifeson of Rush, one of the greatest guitarists and one of the funniest rock stars. I'll put him ahead of Dean Ween and Gene Ween. Right there. Actually, I'm going to put him right there. Robert Plant. Besides Led Zeppelin, he's had a really, really strong solo career. So he's got to be S tier. I think I'm going to put him ahead of Jimmy Page, just for all that he's done. You know, he's done so much more than Jimmy Page has the last 40 years. David Bowie is S tier. Let's put him at the start of S tier. Frank Zappa is S tier for me. Right there. Paul McCartney, S tier. He goes to the start of S tier. Not that he's, of course he's done some mediocre albums and maybe, some bad songs. But for his overall catalog, plus he was in a band called the Beatles. He's just recorded hundreds of great songs. Debbie Harry of Blondie. Very underrated. She's great. I'll put her just before Roger Taylor. Ray Davies. I kind of lost interest in them, after the, I guess, mid-70s. I need to listen to more of their later albums. So I'm going to put him in A tier, but at the start of A tier for now. Elvis Presley, I feel, is the greatest live performer ever. But, for song-wise, he's not one of my favorites. But, just for his overall impact. I'll put him right there. Burton Cummings of the Guess Who, and he also had a very fine solo career. Excellent singer. I'm going to put him in A. Right there. Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac, and a solo career I never really followed. Although I did buy her first solo album. I'll put her in B, just for me personally. Mark Bolan, same thing. My favorite album by T-Rex is The Slider, but I'm not a big fan overall. Freddie Mercury, he's got to be S tier. But as a favorite, I'll put him right there. Tina Turner, she's got to be S tier. Right there. Neil Peart, got to be S tier. Somebody named Geddy Lee is also S tier, so all three Rush members are S tier. I'm going to go there. John Fogerty. I never really followed his solo career, but he has a fine solo career, but just for all of his great songs in CCR, he is S tier. Jeff Lynne of ELO, he is S tier. Right there. Roger Waters, not really a fan. I mean, I loved him in Pink Floyd, but his solo career, no interest in it. So overall, I'll put him in B. And yes, I'm missing David Gilmour. Like I said, these are just random, so you're not gonna see every musician that you love. John Kay of Steppenwolf. He's in B. Excellent songwriter, singer. I like him more than Roger Waters. Buck Dharma of Blue Oyster Cult, he is S tier. One of the most underrated guitarists. Right there. Paul Simon, one of the greatest songwriters. He's got to be high up in the S tier. Right there. Lemmy. Everybody loves Lemmy. He's A. Start of A. Randy Bachman. Of course, the Guess Who guitarist and also Bachman Turner Overdrive. I'll put him in B. Right there. Robert Smith of The Cure. I know a lot of you would probably put him in S tier. Just for me personally, I'll put him in B. I do love a lot of Cure songs, but not everything they've done. Elvis Costello, I think, is A tier. Overall, a very strong solo career. There. Russell Mael of Sparks, one of my all-time favorite singers. Just for me personally, I'm putting him ahead of Robert Plant. Chrissie Hynde, also in the Pretenders, in a solo career. One of my favorite female singers, I'll put her in A. Right there. Bob Dylan, he's got to be S tier, even though, I'm not the biggest Bob Dylan fan for everything he's done. One of the greats. But I like Lou Reed more. George Harrison is S tier. The Beatles in his solo career. Right there. Ron Mael of Sparks, let's put him with his brother. And ahead of his brother, because he wrote most of the lyrics. His fine keyboard playing and his his look. Van Morrison, I'm not really a fan of him anymore, but I'll put him in B. Brian May, amazing guitarist. Let's put him there. Now, I think Brian May is a better guitarist than Buck Dharma, but for favorites, I just, I like Buck Dharma more, his guitar work. Just for me. Brian Wilson is S tier. Ooh. Let's put him in between the Mael brothers. Rod Stewart, excellent early solo career, and I don't even mind, some of his later more poppy hits. He's one of the greats. I'll put him in A. Bruce Springsteen, I like him. Amazing in concert, of course. He's got to be at least A. But I like Elvis Costello more than Bruce Springsteen. So I'll put him right there. Two more. That is Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull. He's I would consider him, overall a musical genius, just like Zappa and Paul Simon and the rest. So He's going to be S tier. Right about there. And Neil Young, you know, he's released a lot of albums, and some of them are just not the greatest, but he's also released a lot of great material. He's still got to be S tier for his whole career, so I'll put him in S tier. Right there. So there you go. I just did this quickly. Otherwise, I'd be thinking about this all day. So, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 21, 6, 7, 14, 3, 4, 30 in S tier. That's pretty good. So I would love your thoughts. Who do you disagree with being an S tier? I'm sure I'll hear about that. But yeah, overall, for doing this quickly, I'm happy with where I ranked everybody, I think. So thanks for watching. Looking forward to your comments below. Please make sure you like the video and make sure you're subscribed. Thank you.